Hello, my freshly peeled bananas. I've got a juicy post for you today. What are we doing in crypto? No, what are we actually doing? Besides wearing fluffy slippers, sitting here on a squeaky chair with a straight back, and enjoying orange juice with 3 ice cubes, fridge temperature, what are we actually doing? What is the tech? The answer is decentralized blockspace. Most of crypto revolves around this concept. That's what we're doing. These chains are selling block space. They're selling a train carriage for you to transport information, censorship resistant, immutable if you want. A government and no one can put their finger on it. But how much value can we give it, friends? Because a lot of people don't actually really understand crypto. And the good thing is for you, you've discovered my channel and you've realized we've been friends since day one. And I'm here to tell you the secret. And the secret, you've heard me say it, the secret is that the community is the asset, not the code, not the tech. Because the tech can be forked and split and copied multiple times. When you first got into crypto, you were probably scared of the thought of somebody discovering a shattering bug in Bitcoin or something else, going, "Oh no, there's a bug, no." We have seen chains have bugs, inflation bugs, and we've seen them go down. So if you knew nothing about crypto, you would think this means everything goes to zero. Wrong. They have value after. Why? Well, I figured out the answer why. Metcalfe's law. Yes, the tech went down, but the people in the network, they have not moved their feet yet. They're still sitting down, petting their duck on the couch, enjoying some bread, watching some TV. Okay? Watching Jim Cramer do the exact opposite. That's what's going on. Now, Ethereum is the unicorn of the space, one of them. The general purpose blockchain. And here we have an unfortunate reality. Ethereum is entering the third cycle curse. Okay? Now, I'm telling you right now, I am crossing my fingers and my toes. I am hoping I am wrong. Boy, do I want to be wrong about this one. But I'm just telling you right now, there's so much evidence. This has happened in history. When market participants see euphoria once and then twice and approach the third time, it's always a letdown. This has been studied in history, in markets, by the way. When humans see euphoria twice, the ability for the asset to disconnect from fair value is significantly squashed in the third time, the third iteration. I've even got a video about it. It's GCR's video that I made, where GCR actually finds the text, which is fascinating because I made the theory. I had no idea about this. I discovered it myself and I was like, okay, well, I figured this out and this makes sense. And then when he showed it, it was like a light bulb. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm in tune with what's going on here. So Ethereum, right? I think Ethereum is going to buckle somewhere in the next bull market. I don't know where or how. All right, no one knows. It's going to let us down somewhere. The third cycle is always a curse. See, in my chart here, just quickly, because you're a baby doll friend, what I've drawn is just an estimate, is we go near 10,000 and then we come down. Don't focus too much on this number, but I'm already thinking about this, and I want you to know, because I'm feeling $10,000 is such a round number. Every influencer, what do they say? Oh, Ethereum's definitely going to 10K. I'll take that bet any day, any day, any day. That's all they say. It reminds me exactly of Bitcoin 100K. When Bitcoin hit 50K, $50,000 in, I think, February or March of 2021, man, we were like 2-3 months into the year. Look how fast we hit 50K. No one thought that was the end, except a very few select individuals, all right? What happens if Ethereum just goes to 8,000-9,000 in the first few months, of January of 2025? People are going to be like, oh, wow, of course, 10K is programmed. Right? Now, I don't know if it's going to be 10K. That's the round number. You saw how fast people put out these $1 million Bitcoin predictions, which is fascinating. All right. I don't know. Maybe Ethereum cracks 10K and goes to like 18. And everyone says, oh, my God, we're definitely going to 20. But we stop at 18 and come back down to 5. You get what I mean? At some point, it's going to buckle. Its knees are going to give out. Something is going to let us down. And it might even happen in the ETH-BTC ratio, friends. This is another thing I'm thinking about, right? It may be because I've got to cover every avenue, right? Because we are baby doll friends and I'm here trying to protect my people. So here's the ETH-BTC chart, right? What if Ethereum flips Bitcoin and everyone thinks it's forever and then it comes back and unflips it? What about that? That would like shock everyone, right? It flips and then a year later actually comes back down to like 0.10. I don't know. Just thinking. The curse is going to happen somewhere. I don't know what it's specifically going to be. Now, I made this little thread here, right? So just to teach you, show you, inform you, right? Ethereum itself, the token, the coin ETH, it has a monetary premium because the chain is unscaled, all right? So people pay more than they should for the coin. They're speculating on it being a store of value, all right? This is nothing new, by the way. People do the same with gold. Gold's real use case is only like 10% of its price, right? So gold's what, like 2,000 an ounce? Yeah, that's right. Only like $200 is used for industrial. The rest is just store of value, holding what we call the monetary premium. Something to learn, right? Isn't that cool? So Ethereum, a lot of the money is taken from users via MEV. They're all the scum losers who code all these front-running things, who literally steal off the people because it's expensive. Now, this is the reality of it, right? We've all known this. There's nothing special. But as we dig deeper, look what we discover. So the vision of Ethereum, all right? This is you're not going to hear this from any other influencer. They don't teach us this. Where's the book, huh? They're shilling us leverage trading referral scams. They're telling us to buy the top. There's subhuman filth, ICO pump and dumps, telling us to go trade on leverage exchange so they can get commission. They're all insiders, man. They're not looking out for you. I'm looking out for you. Why? Because I'm like you. I'm on that couch with you, petting duck, having breadcrumbs, watching Jim Cramer, fading him. Look at this. The vision of Ethereum is to be a public good. All right. And I write it in quotation marks, but no, it's actually true. That's their language. All right. So this is my gift. Okay. I can see all this information, 1,000 moving pieces, and I can pick out. I'm like, that's interesting. Let's put that in a pile here. Let's put that on a piece of paper next to my cold, refrigerated orange juice cup with 3 ice cubes and my apple. All right. So when I hear the words public good, I am bearish. All right. Public good sounds great to you, doesn't it? It sounds like, wow, we're going to change the world. Think about this example. Street lights are a public good, right? You know what we refer to as public good? It's a good that exists out in the world. You can't control who consumes it. It's free for everybody. Another public good is radio signals, right? So anybody can tune in. You can't control your neighbor tuning in to the radio station, right? For example, it's out there for everybody. So they're public goods, right? Now, when you look at streetlights, if you, let's say you have, for some reason, you've gone against the prophecy and you're actually not wearing any socks right now. And you said, oh my God, it's too dark in my room. I want to go put socks on. Would you go outside to the streets and use the light there to put your socks on? Probably not. People will be like, nah, screw it. I'll turn on the light. I'll use electricity in my own home and I'll put my socks on in here. Okay, so I know that this example sounds crazy, but this actually can be applied. It's what's going to be happening in the real world, friends. This is how crypto is going to go. People are going to start paying for convenience. The public good is that street light. That's what Ethereum wants to be, right? It's already made everybody rich. It's up like 5,500x since the ICO or whatever. from 31 cents to 1800, whatever the price is. Okay, so it did well. It killed it. Absolutely crushed it, right? The language from Vitalik and the Ethereum developers also speaks about public good, and they're smart, okay? They're smart. They're not, don't think this is like, oh, they're just nerds trying to save the world. No. They're okay. They're trying to avoid SEC language. They're trying to tiptoe around stuff. They're smart, okay? They're smart. They're intelligent. When you describe something as a public good, you paint the image that you're making something for humanity. So you're asking for a label unique to everybody else. You're asking for a different set of rules, right? Now, also public good is the opposite of, let's just take this thing to the freaking moon. No number is too high, baby. Let's crush it. Let's get every single green candle we can. Okay, that's not public good. Public good is, okay, we're going to slow down. We're going to scale. We're going to fund other projects. We're going to help Ethereum build the decentralized city. We're going to do these funding. And then you go check the layer 2s and surprise, surprise, they have VCs and there's no public rounds or anything. So, yeah, you know, let's just brush that under the rug, okay? But the whole goal is to sell their block space to layer 2s. That's the Ethereum vision. The Ethereum vision is, hey, they make block space. Remember the train cart example, right? You put something in the train cart and it goes on the carriage. No one can control it. It's decentralized. No government can stop this. Ethereum want to put the block space and they want layer 2s to connect to them and transact, right? That's the ultimate vision, right? Play this out in most people's minds and they think, oh, infinite mooning, infinite price mooning. But I'm not so sure anymore because I run this scenario in my head. And by the way, you can only do this type of level of thinking when you're in here 18 hours a day. All right. So it's not, unfortunately, there's no book. There's no one person. There's no one source. All right. I'm just conveying this to you. I think the network effect is going to split. All right. So remember this decentralized block space. It's rare right now. Just like how internet bandwidth was rare. That's right. Decentralized block space is rare. And we're making more of it at light speed. There are layer 1 chains popping everywhere. Now, you already know this. Do you really give a poopy about how decentralized the block space was before you transact on 99% of things? While we're there, buying and selling JPEGs, messaging people, right? All that stuff, DEX trading. You don't really care. Like, you don't even have a scale. Do you even have a scale of like, oh, is this 3 out of 10 decentralized or 10 out of 10? No one knows. No one cares. We don't care. We just need it to be decentralized enough. Just don't bother us, all right? So you can already say, all right, well, if Ethereum is maximizing the decentralized aspect, they're probably sacrificing a lot of number go up in the future for their whole, remember, the whole reason is to be a public good. They really want to be that, right? So now we move on because we know, all right, they're making more block space out there, friends. There's more chains coming, not just Pulse Chain, right? Binance, Phantom, Solana, everyone's doing the chains, okay? And there is no magic formula, but they're competing. They're all competing. They're increasing, from basic economics, they're increasing the supply, friends. When you increase the supply, you know what happens over time. The prices drop, the values drop, all right? Now, the value of the network may be a lot, but you know individually, you start dropping it, okay? So thinking about this, how do we roll this forward? What conclusion can we make from this? Well, most people are saying Bitcoin and Ethereum going to the moon. I think they're going to the moon too, relatively speaking. But I'm not so convinced anymore because you can look at the internet, right? So, by the way, everything I'm doing here, I'm not even saying anything unique. I'm just drawing conclusions from the real world here, rational things that have already happened, right? So, in the beginning of the internet, bandwidth was so hard to come by. And then they just kept making more infrastructure. And the speeds got faster. Now you can download gigs at a time. before it took forever to load a JPEG. So this is probably what's going to happen with blockchains, friends. Decentralized block space, the supply is getting higher and higher over time. And I think it's going so fast, we're inflating how much we can do it and we're optimizing for it, that what are you left with? You're left with a lot of decentralized block space out there. You run this out in the future, okay? Now, what people are going to say is, well, I know, always playing devil's advocate. They'll say, no, well, we got to make the block sizes bigger and bigger, etc., etc. Okay, yeah, but who's to say your coin has to have all the value, right? Who's to say that? There's going to be other coins, other networks. It's all decentralized block space. You're just going to choose the cheapest one. You don't care. You don't care, man. Ethereum can be like the rescue island with Bitcoin in the world, but if they're expensive and slow to move on, we don't really care. We're like, yeah, they're 10 out of 10 decentralized, but I want to use like 3 out of 10 decentralized because this thing is like a bit more cheaper and a bit more cooler and they've got a bit more marketing and more incentives. There you go. You run this experiment. It's so easy and everybody's going to be trying to claw away at the customers like that, okay? So I do see this over time. I do see Ethereum losing its big daddy status as competition goes on. Now, I've had this for a long time. I knew one day, just as Bitcoin gets toppled, Ethereum will get toppled. I'm already thinking about the future. I don't know, obviously, who's going to do it. Otherwise, we'd all be trillionaires. But you can see it coming. Just keep an open mind. Keep an open mind, right? So this doesn't mean Ethereum is bad or anything. I'm just telling you, right? Are you going to retire on a 6x? Most of you guys have clips less than 100K, right? Even what's 100K going to do, man? 100K to 600K. What are you going to do? You got to wait another 4 years. You know, that you've been investing for 10 years at that point. After 2 cycles, think about it, right? So we got to do better. We already know this. We already know this. So what happens from now? Well, on the positive side, right? Ethereum, the power horse unicorn, powerhouse. Can't deny it. 5,800x since its ICO. I'm still thinking it might trap everyone. We'll always be on the lookout. Okay? And reading here, you will probably not make generational wealth in it because it's almost 10 years old, friends. It's almost 10 years old. Was it good to buy Bitcoin in 2019? Yeah, it was. But not like it was in 2013. In 2019 is when I got in. Okay? I got the low, 3,500. Yeah. 20x from the low to the top is amazing. Firstly, you didn't know it was going to stop at exactly the top, but you know, most people aren't, only 3 to 5%. How much is it up from that point still? It's up like 7x, 8x, whatever, 9. You know, for 4 years. I think we can do a lot better. Maybe Ethereum's the same, right? Which is, it's okay. It's okay. But it's not the best. We're here to win. And we know all the retailers are trapped in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So here, my ominous warning, right? You need to be early in something else. And I know, I can see it, I can smell it, I can feel it. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're selling decentralized block space. They are great as backbones of crypto, right? But make no mistake, they are not your path to riches. Capital allocation, you're not going to win the game there. Now, I've got no problem if you say, hey man, I've played some lotteries, I want to take some profit out. Should I rotate some of my profits to Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Let's say you started with 10 grand and then let's say now it's 2025 December and you're like, wow, man, I can afford 10 Ethereum and 2 Bitcoin to rotate. Yeah, go for it, man. You've played the game. You can store your wealth in there. It's better than, say, gold. More upside than that. It's better than property over a 5 to 10 year time frame, you know. But with that regard, that's a completely different story. That's where you're going to store yourself, right? Storing wealth is completely different to what I'm trying to get on the fastest horse and kill it, right? So, when I posted this, I had a friend ask me like, okay, I understand now. What do we buy? And I was like, just chill out. Just chill out. If I see any more than your back slanted the current way it is, there's going to be no more replies from me. So when I do these messages, I want you to know I'm not here to shill a coin. All right. I don't like that. These messages are to just tell you, here is a message, discuss, think, and that's it, right? Because we know, right, when someone bags something out or when someone has a negative tone, the worst thing you want to see is them like trying to funnel you down at the very end. They're like, oh, by the way, buy this JPEG. That's going to save all your problems. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. This content, it is the way it is. That's it. Ethereum's third cycle curse. I'm not saying buy Bitcoin. I'm not saying buy any other layer one. I'm not saying buy JPEGs. I'm not saying buy stonks. I'm not saying do leverage anything. I don't care. All right. I'm just, this is what it is. I am conveying, keep your mind open. All right. The game is not set in stone. Just like how the internet kept evolving, people speak with each other. Bill Gates thought the internet would be a fad. Bill Gates thought social media was going to zero. I hope you know this, okay? I'm not joking. Bill Gates said, I don't see why people would want to talk to strangers. Quote from Bill Gates. You can go look it up. With his big, sexy porn star glasses, looking straight into the camera. So even Bill Gates, the guy working on computers, literally making sweet fornication love to computers as a wee little boy, making Microsoft and building stuff for developers, all this trillion-dollar industry. He even said, yeah, I don't see why anybody would really want to talk to anyone else on the internet. It's kind of weird, right? So even he was fading social media, which was the next wave, by the way. So, you know, Microsoft comes in, kills it in the 90s, early 2000s. Then social media is the next wave. Billy Boy Gates couldn't even see that. You got to learn. Someone who's a visionary like that, he couldn't even see it. Steve Jobs came in with the phone, the new mobile phone wave, everyone talking to each other, okay? Maybe we're there right now, friends. You saw Satoshi. He came and he killed it. Absolutely crushed it, right? Binked. Then you have Vitalik come in, absolutely crushed it. Someone's coming next. Someone or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm letting you know, right? So the thing is, right, Satoshi, you can't even speak to him now, but Vitalik, you'll see him. His brain, look, obviously he's a genius, but even he will reject some things. He said Ethereum he said JPEGs are an abomination for basically taking up, and he implies it's because they're taking up like necessary decentralized blockchain space on Ethereum. All right, so you never know, man. Maybe there's something there. Maybe got to fade Ethereum in that regard. Maybe the JPEGs are going to go further than we think, right? Now, I'm just trying to keep your mind open. Like, these people are super, super, super smart, but even they can't see that next hyperwave coming in, all right? So that's the point of my content, to show you we will get betrayed, friends. We will. And we already know this. I already knew this. If you were going off previous cycles, you'd be all in on Bitcoin right now. You'd be waiting for Bitcoin to break the high, try to do that repeat stuff. But I've done my hard work research, and I'm like, yes, there is significant edge. Everyone wants altcoins. Not a single person respects Bitcoin and Ethereum enough, even if they have 30 grand. I know so many people coming in, hey man, I got 25K, 20K. And I'm like, okay, do you want to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum? They're like, hell no, man. Straight away, every single time. Every single person I speak to, I'm like, wow, that's very different to my experience in 2019. Okay? So, baby doll, baby cakes. We've learned there is the third cycle curse. I hope it doesn't happen. But you got to be ready, okay? If you're ready, that means you're already allocated to what people would consider casino coins. But we already know it comes down to Metcalfe's law. We already know it ain't about the tech. We already know it's about the people in the community, okay? Because this is the climax, friends. At the end of the day, there's going to be decentralized block space all over the world. You can fork it everywhere. It's going to like a commodity. Humans, when we see a commodity, we make more of it. Just like oil or gold. We're trying to make more of it, dig more of it. Sell, sell, sell. That's what people try to do. It's a gold rush. But what you can't fork are community members. You can't fork the people in the network. That's why crypto gives value to groups of people who are still holding a coin which you believe and you know, you're like, this coin has absolutely no use case. How the F is it worth more than $1? Well, now you know why, okay? Everybody is drinking orange juice, refrigerated, They're watching Jim Cramer. They're sitting on the couch. They're petting their duck, feeding it bread. They got their phone out, ready to buy everything that Jim Cramer says is bearish on. Tell your mum and your dad that you love them, friends.